Welcome back, my fellow mobile gamers. My name is NimbleThor, and I will be your host for the next few minutes as we dive into the 3 best mobile games I played last week. Now, I usually cover 4 games in these summary videos, not 3 games, but I also recorded episode 7 of my tiny Nimble mobile gaming podcast last week, so I only got around to playing 3 games this time. But if you're interested in the podcast, though, you can find that right here on the channel, and I'm really proud of this podcast, so I would encourage you to go check it out if you're into mobile gaming. Now, the 3 games we'll be covering today range from a well-made Archero alternative, a racing game that piqued my interest because of its Mania-like gameplay, and lastly, a space-themed ninja idle RPG. So there's plenty of good stuff to get into today. I hope that you'll enjoy the ride, and without further ado, here is this week's first game. Car Stunt Race's Mega Ramps is a not-so-serious casual racing game that plays like a mix between the Trackmania PC games and then the Jet Car Stunts 2 mobile games, which means we've got lots of ramps, lots of loops, and just a lot of flying vehicle chaos, and I'm loving that. With both career and a free gameplay mode, no car upgrades apart from cosmetics, no energy system, and only a single in-game currency, the mix between gameplay and monetization is some of the best I've seen in a racing game on mobile. Now, the controls are fine as well, the graphics is decent, and while there are quite a few non-incentivized video advertisements, they can all be removed through a single $2 in-app purchase. Now, my only complaint about this game is that the cars aren't really as fast as I would like them to be. I just want more airtime, really, like in Trackmania, for example. But the game is offline playable, though, so that's a big plus. It only takes up 122 megabytes of space. It's out on Android and on iOS, and as someone pointed out over on Reddit last week, there are hundreds of similar games out there on mobile already, and I know that. But what caught my attention with this game was the relaxed monetization system and the fact that it can be played offline. So for those reasons, I think it's worth checking out if you like casual racing games. Now, this week's next game is something for all of you idle RPG fans out there. It's a game called Ninja Prime Tab Quest, and it's a ninja space-themed idle RPG where we fight endless waves of alien scum, and it's made by the same publishers, or at least published by the same publishers that also published Wizard's Wheel 2, which I covered just about a year ago. You can click in the top right corner of this video right now if you want to go see that video. But in Ninja Prime Tab Quest, every planet we land on is filled with aliens and multiple bosses that we have to get through. Now, we attack these creatures automatically, and we can then trigger skills automatically at a slow pace as well, or we can do it manually to increase our damage per second output. Whenever we die in this game, we restart the planet with a permanent strength increase automatically applied to us, by the way, and once we've defeated one of the planet's bosses, we don't have to defeat that one again next time, making it slightly easier to get through, or at least try to get through the planet the next time around. In addition to a research lab and skill upgrades, all of these systems means that progression in Ninja Prime is much more fast-paced than your average idle game, which I was really happy to see. While the game does ask permissions to show advertisements, I didn't receive a single ad during my time with this game, and while there are plenty of in-app purchases as well, none of them are necessary to progress and enjoy the game. The game is offline playable, it takes up only 72 megabytes of space, it's out on Android and on iOS, and of all the idle RPGs I've played on mobile so far, this is one of the better balanced ones, meaning that the monetization isn't too heavy, progression is fast enough to keep me entertained, and the game isn't too complex to get into. So, if you've been looking for a new idle RPG, be sure to take Ninja Prime for a spin. And now for the really controversial game this week. Tails Rush is what some would call an Archero-like game, I guess that's what I called it, and others might just call it an Archero clone. But regardless though, it's a roguelike game where we move a warrior through endless small dungeons filled with monsters, gathering gold and leveling up along the way as we go through these dungeons. And every single time we level up, we get to pick between 1 of 3 random upgrades, which steadily increases our overall strength as we go further and further in this game. So the goal of the game, as with any roguelike, is to just go as far as we can, and then whenever we eventually die, we return home where we can spend gold to buy small permanent stat boosts before we start all over again. The one joystick control system is very simple, and it's also really well calibrated. The random upgrades are interesting, and the monetization allows us to progress faster through in-app purchases, but it never feels forced on us. So overall, the game feels like an Archero 2.0 with multiple characters to pick from, each of which has a unique weapon as well. But sadly though, many of these characters require premium currency, either gained for free or through in-app purchases. But we've also got more interesting combat than in Archero, in my opinion at least, and we've got near endless content, just as we have it in Archero. The game is also offline playable. It takes up 150 the 4 megabyte of space on your smartphone. It's available on Android and on iOS. And if you liked Archero, you're almost guaranteed to like this one as well. Now, I guess the really good question is, if you already play Archero, should you switch to Tails Rush? I'm not so sure about that. You go make that decision on your own. You can try it out. It's very easy to get into if you played Archero already. I think it's more interesting, so that's my conclusion on this game. And for that reason, it also happens to be my favorite game of the week. And I would definitely say it's worth checking out if you enjoy these types of games. And with that, thank you very much for deciding to spend a few minutes with me here today. I hope that you will consider hitting the notification bell if you're new around here, and leave a like to show the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy this type of content. Also, if you want to discuss the latest and greatest mobile games before I even cover them here on YouTube, be sure to head over to our Mobile Gamer Discord server. The links for that can be found in the description box of this video. And then, until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.